Hi, it's Fiona Fernandez by Freehand Crafts. There's my website for my Stampin' Up, and there's my April host code if you're shopping with me. And I'm just putting a card together as a thank you card for one of my customers, and I'm using a bit of new, bit of old. Some of the stuff's staying current in the next catalogue, but it's not going to be a bundle, so I'll just show you that. So this is Color and Contour. So the Scalloped Contours dies look like this, and I've just used the little one, or actually a big long one here, to do the edges of my cut there. So it's really good for borders and things like that. And this one, some of it fits in the mini, most of it fits in the mini. Just pull that out. So the mini plates are this wide. So if you have a look, I think this one will fit in the mini. So that one fits in the mini. The big one won't fit in the mini. So if you have you'll need the big size one for that. Let me just have a look at this. Yeah, see, that won't fit through. So the big one you wouldn't get to use in the mini, but all the others you could. So today I've used this one in the mini, and I did a couple of screenshots for that. So this one is currently a bundle, but in the next catalogue it won't be. You'll still be able to get it in individual items, but they won't be 10% off as a bundle. So if you're interested in this one, it's a good idea to grab it before the new catalogue in May. So that's what it's called. Some nice little sentiments there. I'm actually going to use a sentiment out of a new one which is coming in the next catalogue. But there is also a thank you here. You could take off the word, you could mask it and just use the word thank you, or use the whole thank you for everything. I'm going to use that one today. Over there. So the way I've done this, I did my cutting first, my die cutting first, and I just did it down the edge of the plate. There's my plate. Let's find a plate. All my plates are out. So the plates tell you what to use when you're cutting and what to use when you're embossing. So basically, put my plate on there, put that one there, put the die down the very edge of it there, lined it up. You can put a bit of a sticky on there or washi tape if you wish to. I just held it with my hand and put the other plate on. And when you're putting the other plate on, always make sure that you've got it over the top of it. So don't have them lined up exactly like this. See here, you want the top one, well, this is what works for me, the top one over the top of the other one like this. Otherwise it doesn't grab easily. So that's just a tip that Stampin' Up have told us, to have them staggered. Work out which way works for you. So I always die cut first when I'm going to emboss a piece, and that way it doesn't squash my embossing when I'm doing the die cutting. So I die cut them first and then I embossed. So again with the embossing, so I've used these ones. So these are still current. Stripes and splatters, and I've used the stripe one because I'm going to use a piece of the new DSP with it, which has stripes on it, but this one comes with splatters as well. They're very nice embossing folders. That's what it looks like. And I'll just put that one there. So you need number one, and then you look at the packet, it says 3D embossing folder, and you look for the plate that says 3D embossing folder. So there's another grey plate, and it has standard embossing folder. So it just, you use the one that's appropriate for it. I'll just turn that phone off. Phone ringing in the middle. I forgot to turn that off. Yep, so that's how that works. So we're just going to use number 4, which is a 3D embossing folder, and we put that onto the base. So we put our plate down, and then we put our embossing folder together and put that in there like that, and then you run it through the embossing machine. So I've already done all that. So I do a quick little video to show you putting the card together. So when I get to this point, my edges, so on this side here, I've already smoothed that off a little bit. When I put it through, it actually worked out. I've done it to the edge of the card and it's worked out perfectly. You know, the edge for that scallop was great. But I did decide, so you could leave it like that with the line, but I decided I wanted it smoother. So I'm just using a little emery board that I keep in my craft kit and just give it a little smooth over on the edge there to get that nice rounded bit there. I did one end and I thought I'll just do the other end. Right, there we go. So it gives it a nice finish. And I've already put this together. This is the new ribbon that's coming out in the new catalogue. One of the new In Colors, Tahitian Tide. I just love this colour. It's gorgeous. So I've been playing with that yesterday and today. Tahitian Tide. And it's a really shimmery ribbon. It does fray on the ends if you want that frayed look. And if you don't, then you need to be very careful when you're cutting it. But I've got a new pair of snips now with ribbon. Look, they're my ribbon scissors. But I wanted it frayed, so I've frayed it a bit on the ends. I actually like that look, and I think with this sort of ribbon, that's a good idea. You could stick it down though if you don't want that. So on the other card I made the other day, I stuck it down underneath the paper so that you don't get the frayed edges on it. I just got a little bit there. I just really love it. So I'm going to put this on here. So I'm just doing a fairly simple card. Just really like the look of it. These are the little doilies, so these are in the catalogue currently as well. They come in a couple of different colours, but I just wanted it white, and you can colour that in as well with your blending brush or a dauber and make it a different colour. So at the moment I'm just going to put this on here. Oh, so I think I'll just use my Tahitian Tide again because I really like that. We'll just stamp off. I'm going to do the stamping off with my little sheet here just to practice. So practice one on the line there. I'll just do that first just to make sure I didn't clean the stamps off. It's a good idea to wipe them off first with your, oh look at that one. I didn't even try. That was a fluke, wasn't it? Heartfelt thank you. I love it. I'm going to stamp straight onto the little doily. I'm not being too fussy about where it lands because I can just turn it to suit wherever it lands. I think I'll put the bow on the side a little bit. So if you're worried about stamping straight onto something like this, do it before you put the ribbon in, or do it on a bit of other card and then you can just cut it out. That's okay, I'm happy with that. Over there. These are all the new In Colors if you haven't seen anything yet with them. That's what they look like. They're just beautiful. Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis, Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party and Tahitian Tide. Oh no, I should turn them on. That's what they look like. They're just beautiful. They do In Colors every year, and then they've still got the In Colors from last year that will stay, and the ones before that will leave the catalogue, this new catalogue. So if you've on my catalogue list, you'll be getting one. Now I'm going to put something else under there, and I thought I'd use a bit of the DSP. Just move that over. So I'm going to cut it and put a strip underneath. So this is the new In Color designer series paper. So they always do some designer series papers for all the different color themes. So there's neutrals, subtles, what's the other one? Regals and brights, and the In Colors. And they have a double-sided paper, so you can choose, you can put a flower behind there or a line. So I'm going to do that too. I decided I'd go 4. Stick with my line side like that. So these little papers 6 by 6 inches basically, which is approximately, you know, the width of that 15. 6 goes to there on your trimmer, so it's 15.3, I think, 2 or 3. So you can also buy this separate centimetre ruler to go on your trimmer, which I decided to get. I had the inches one that came with it for a long time, and then I decided to try the centimetres, and I actually really like it because depending on what you're doing, but sometimes I measure to the centimetre exactly and bring my cutter in to the exact point on it and then push it down into the paper and then cut. So you can actually do a cut from the 9 to the 2 or something like that, you know, and be really specific where you're going to. Same with your scoring. So the scorer's on the other end. This is the scorer. So just I try and keep my trimmer up that end, my scorer down the other end, so that I don't cut things when I'm trying to score them. I'll just pop that over there. And yes, I've stuck to the blue again. I love it. So I'm just deciding now. So I'll have to trim that little piece off there. So I'll go to the width of that. Which was 14.85. Trim it like that. So you don't have to push hard on the trimmer, you just drag it down. I was pushing too hard when I first got my trimmer. Alright. And I was making the paper all rough. So if that happens to you, just don't be so pushing hard on it. Just carefully drag the blade down without pushing too hard. Alright, now will I go this way or will I go... I see this matches as a little scallops around the edge. Or will I go flowers? I thought I liked the lines, but I'm thinking I like the flowers now. I think I'll go with the flowers. I do like that. So I'm just going to use a bit of my Tombow liquid glue. I'm going to stick my flowers down first because I've got them in position. And of course there's always more than one way to do this, okay? I'm going to put that side down first. You do whichever way is comfortable for you. With the Tombow it does slide a little bit. Now I've gone down a tiny bit, you'll see it's not exactly equal, but I meant that. I liked where it was sitting. You might want it exactly equal, and that's okay. And do that. So don't go right to the edges because it could squish out, and we don't want it to squish out. A bit of a press because we've got embossing behind it. Now if your edges are sticking up a little bit like mine, because I cut it on the other side, probably could do this normally before I stick it down, but I'll just do it here. You can just run it with your bone folder there, and it just rubs down the edges of the paper so that they're not sticking up. Let's see if I can see on the other bit of paper. Show you what I'm talking about. It's a bit hard to see, but on the very edge of the paper there, it sort of sticks up a little bit there. You see that? So if you, I'll just grab one of my boards. You see that sort of a little bit of a ridge? You just rub it with your bone folder like that. And it rubs it down. And now it's nice and smooth. Let's try and get a picture of that. It's a little bit tricky. Okay. Got my big side and my small side. I'm going to put that down. Yeah, I might even put that on an angle. I like the angle rather than trying to get that straight. I love angles. I don't know, I can't decide. Maybe. Maybe. I'm just going to put some glue in the middle of that. And you could put it up on dimensionals if you want it to pop up a little bit off your card. Just use some dimensionals. But I've just decided to use the... Before I put that on, I'm just going to stick that down. Oh, maybe we will go straight. Now, we're going to look at where this is. It's not lining up exactly on the scallop, so I'll go off a little bit so it's off on both of them. I think that'll be right. Now, I often turn things sideways like this so that I can look down it to see. I'm looking at the heartfelt bit there, so this glue doesn't stick immediately, and you can look at it against the line that's going down to see if it's pretty straight. I used to do artwork many years ago, pre-press artwork, and everything had to be exactly straight. So that was my method for one of the methods. I mean, of course I used a ruler, but that really helped me. So I like to do it that way. It still works for me. So that's how it's going to look. Just look again. So if you look at it again with the blue card behind it, you can see the edge of the blue card as well. I'm happy with that. I'll just push that down, and then we'll just put that onto the blue card. And I'm just going to put a fair bit on the back of this because of the ridges. Not too much, but I want a bit on there. I'm not going to put the scallopy bits down there. That'll do. If you get glue on your fingers, just rub them like this until it comes off. Just comes off. And the other thing you can use if you're doing gluing, if you don't want to get glue on your surface, use this little silicone sheet, because that's very handy, and it doesn't matter then if you get it on there, it just rubs straight off. I'm going to put one end down first. Just come down a bit. So I'm just looking at this to see where it's sitting on the card. Pretty happy with that, but again, because so don't push it down too hard in the middle until we've got it right down where we want it. So this shouldn't be too hard because you've got a nice straight edge to work with. If it was a shorter straight edge, it's a little bit trickier, but with the glue you can move it until you okay, let's give that a nice press. It's so cute, isn't it? Love it. Oh, I don't know that we need more bling because we've got all the ribbon, but then the other bling did look nice on the other card. I used my blends, my new blends. These are the blends. You get a light and a dark in the packet when you buy them, and you can colour in the plain rhinestone basic jewels, which is really handy if you want different coloured jewels. But I feel like there's enough going on here without all the jewels, with all this ribbon. So with these little doilies, I just threaded them through, and I'll just find my catalogue to find the doilies in here. I think they're in the mini catalogue actually. I think they're in this catalogue at the moment, so I can show you inside this catalogue. I can't open up the new catalogue yet. Here they are, Heart and Home doilies they're called, if you're looking for them. And this is the new ribbon. You can't get that yet unless you're a demonstrator. If you're a demonstrator, you can already pre-order it. So they always let you pre-order a few things in the new catalogue coming out, so you can try them and show people. So that's my little card. The only thing I am wondering is whether to put something just there. Maybe we could go with a little butterfly, because that'd be cute, wouldn't it? Those little nice butterflies. Let me have a look in my bling box. Oh, so these are the rhinestone basic jewels I was talking about. You can colour them in. Just see if I can find a butterfly in here. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe just put a butterfly on there, just to make it a bit different. I just feel like it needs something right there. Might go nicely with that. I wonder if there's a little die cut in there. Oh, there's no little flowers in there. There's another one I saw, one of the new ones coming out, has a die cut little flower that we're talking about the other day, but I haven't seen that yet. Let's get my Take Your Pick tool. So the Take Your Pick tool has a little putty on the end, one end, and the other end has the sharp point, and then a spatula. You flip it around. So depending what you're doing, I'll just see which one I want to use. This comes out, and you can actually put that other brush in that comes with the foam mat to go to get your dies out. So this is a separate tool you can buy. You can buy refills of these as well. And so this winds down and the putty comes out the top. So when you've used up all the putty, you can get a new one. It does come with a refill. Let me just have a look. I'd like to see a little one or a big one. Can't decide. I don't want to pull it off. I might pull all the butterflies off. Oh, yeah, there goes one. Doesn't want to come up. That's the trouble when you're trying to pull them off the base. They stick down pretty well, don't they? He's flying away. I like him there. I'm going to put one there. Actually, we might put two. One big one and one little one. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Is it something different? They're really gorgeous, those butterflies. Happy to say they're staying. Butterflies. I'll just double check that, but I'm pretty sure they're staying. I've got a tag on my new catalogues. This is my new catalogue. And you'll be getting one in the mail if you're on my mailing list, but I can't show you anything on camera until it's live. So yes, they're definitely in there. And they're called brushed brass butterflies, and they're currently available as well. Right, so that's my little card for today. I better get on and send it. Thanks for watching. Ciao.